I'd leap in first, because she always leaps in on me. I'm Valerie Howard, and I'm a Professor of Education, Sociology of Education, and I work in the School of Ed, Faculty of Social Sciences, and also with the Early Start Research Institute.
My name is Sarah O'Shea, and I am a doctor, not a professor, and I work in the School of Education as well, and my speciality is adult vocational and higher education. How to survive the first couple of weeks for a session. What would be your #1 top tip, do you think?
#1 top tip, wow, that I can say on camera?
Yeah.
Okay. It'd be, getting as much information as you can, and that's like, I think talking to people is really important. So talking to loads of other students about stuff, and talking to the staff, finding out the staff you can find out information from, and just, that information things, everything, because the university's just totally different, and there's just like all this secret stuff you don't know about. So like, I've been working at a uni for a while, and whenever you go from one uni to another university as someone that works here, you never know what to do at the new university, because there's so many different ways of doing things, and the only way we figure it out is we go and talk to each other.
Yeah, I agree, and what you said about support services, I think it's really important, because there are so many supports there, because I always feel at university, the university really wants you to pass. They don't really want you to fail, So there's all this support available, like learning development, support if you've got any sort of disability, careers advice, I mean, you name it. And I'd say we probably have a support person available. And they're there really just to help. I mean, some students think that if you have to go and see someone that maybe there's something wrong with you, but in fact I know a lot of students who just want to make sure that they're taking advantage of everything that's available out there.
Yeah, it's kind of like coaching. It's totally not like school, where you go to the school counsellor if there's like a problem. You actually go to see people at uni because there's services for you, and they're there to help you, not because there is a problem, but just because they're there to tell you stuff. So I never feel like I'm asking a silly question or something like that, because even if you go to the wrong person, they'll be able to point you in the right direction. Because I know quite regularly I'll ring up and ask for help and go to the wrong person, and they'll point me in the right direction. Yeah. Like just when you ring up for information.
Yeah. I think it's also really important to get to know other people in your course. Like, my advice would always be to try and say hello to one new person every day. Like, people might think you're slightly strange, but that way you might actually get to know someone, because these people you're probably going to be studying with for 3 or 4 years.
So is that your #1 tip?
Yeah. Yeah, say hello to someone new every day.
Okay. It sounds pretty boring, but it's actually like a real key. It's a key to everything. Like, it's a key to our work. If we want to get things done, we've got to plan it and stuff like that. So the key ways you do it as a student are your subject outlines.
Yeah, I think subject outlines are so important, because when you come to uni, you're working on a 13-week semester. So by the time you start, that's week 1, and before you know it, it's week 3, week 4, and your first lot of assignments are due. So people might say to you, oh, you're going to uni now and you've got all those big long holidays, you uni students, you don't do anything. Well, you do, as you probably have worked out, but often it's very, very condensed into a really short time frame. So 13 weeks is not a long time. So that's why you've got to hit the ground running. So downloading your subject outlines, doing that in the first week or before if you can, and actually planning out your whole semester really does make a big difference.
Yeah, and there's this thing, like, Sarah and I both write subject outlines and run courses and stuff, and so you have this thing where there's a number of hours per, assignment and stuff like that. So you really need to look at that and really need to think about, because from our side, when we're writing them, we're thinking how much time students need to be spending, how many words, stuff like that. So think about how we're writing it, and then if you kind of really get a sense of, that's what they're doing, it's just these people that have to write this thing, then you'll be able to unpack, and that will help you to know what you're doing. And then the other thing is just ask your subject coordinator. And if you go and ask them and they're really busy, just find another time. That's their job. Their job's to have consultancy time with you, to go and catch up with you. So it's part of our job. We do that.
And with the subject outlines, don't just focus on the assignments. They're really important. And if you're looking there, have a good look. Particularly look at the percentages that each assignment is worth, because that really does dictate, you've got 4 assignments due because you've got 4 subjects. But maybe in one of those subjects, an assignment is only worth 10%, but in another subject, it's worth 50%. Well, obviously the one that's worth 50% needs to get more time. So don't spend all the time on the 10% one. Make sure that you're dividing your time carefully. But read the bits at the back of the subject outline, because they're also really important. Spend some time reading it from cover to cover. They're really important documents. We all got a list of books that is recommended reading. And my advice would be not to buy any of the books, which Valerie finds quite amusing and astonishing. And the reason I say that is because the books generally are extremely expensive. And what you're better off doing is going down to the library firstly and seeing, is the book available in the library? Is it available on a short-term loan? And if it's not available, let the library know that you need to have that book in stock, that it's on your reading list. So if it's a book that you think, oh, I can't really just use it from the library, I'm going to need to use it a lot more than that, maybe you could consider getting together with a couple of your friends and buying the book together as a group. Alternatively, there are a lot of second-hand book shops. For example, at UOW, there's a UOW Facebook site called UOW Secondhand Books, or words to that effect, so have a search for it. But there are other ways of getting around, and much to Valerie's astonishment, I have admitted that in my undergraduate I actually didn't buy any books.
You never bought a book.
Because for me it was the difference between books or food, and food astonishingly won out for me. But how I managed was that I was very creative. I did a lot of photocopying, I borrowed books from the library, and that's how I managed.
She's got a PhD, so it must work. So yeah, I guess the bottom line is, you can find different ways. Do your readings, but find different ways to do it. Yeah. Okay, so we're finishing on the idea of the whole balance thing, study-life balance thing. And we both can't say how important that is, like to us, how important it was when we were students. So, what does that mean in practice? Well, you have everything planned, and in your planning, plan to be good to yourself, plan for the things in life you want to do. Like, it's good to get out there and do stuff, get fresh air, whatever it is. There's lots of clubs or sports or, the things that are going to make you feel good, and build in rewards, get that essay done. Like, it might be really painful, redrafting, whatever, you get it handed in. Know what that thing is you're going to give yourself before you go to the next thing, and just plan that kind of nice way to be kind to yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, even when you're studying, try and plan for a little rewards. If you get a draft done, then, go out, have a walk, or just something nice. So, just to finish off, I think Valerie and I both just wanted to say, this is a great time in your lives. And this first session, it's going to be hard, but hopefully by now you're beginning to settle in. You may even be finding your way around campus, but don't feel if you're not, that's fine. Because
we often don't know where we're going. The building's history.
But if you do have any questions, or you do want to get some advice about something, don't forget the In2Uni team are always there for you. You can always contact Sarah, and she can give you some advice or answer your questions. So good luck.
Yeah, and use whatever resources are there, like the mentors that you've got. If you see us wandering around, buy us a coffee. No, I'm joking. You can say hi. Ask us a question, the more people you talk to and you ask questions about, we ask questions all the time, we can't figure stuff out. It's about the nature of this kind of work, it's collegial.